Hello, this is Mr. Mitchell with your 8th grade high school credit physics syllabus. I'm really looking forward to teaching this class. I really like the content of this class, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's in this class and the grading scale and an important date coming up that has to do with this class. First of all, let's talk about the grading scale. It's a little bit different from what you've had in the past. Those of you who have had me for 6th and 7th grade may remember that these bottom two numbers have changed. 60% is your major grades, tests, projects, papers, and so on. That's pretty heavy on the test, but not that much on the daily grade, classwork, homework, quizzes, etc. And you guys are old enough and mature enough now to know that if you are not doing your homework, not trying on your classwork, and failing quizzes, that it will bleed over into this 60%. So don't go into it thinking, I don't need to try hard on that. You need to try hard on everything, and this will kind of end up showing up more in the 60% just because of the content we have and how rigorous it is. 20%, wow, look at this, 20% of your grade is the final exam and the EOC. No, that's not a typo. It's not EOCT, as you may have heard of, is at the end of this class. That was last year, but a test called the EOC is going to take its place. Just like before, those of you who have been in honors classes, you do get 7 points added to major grades. That's not the classwork, homework, and quizzes. That's these major grades up here, the 60%. So an 85 can turn into a 92, for example. Yes, we do have makeup tests with a maximum score of an 80, and yes, you do not get those 7 points to that. There is no curve on that, but hey, I like it because you're able to know it better than you must have in the first place if you had scored below that. Okay, this is important. This class is a high school credit class. What your child makes in this course goes on their high school transcript. Yes, it counts towards your high school grade point average. So many of you are very smart people and can have some 4.0s. I'm sorry about the bell here. I'm at school when I'm making this. But many of you may have a chance at a 4.0, and that starts with this class. If you make an A in this class, you're on your way to hopefully a 4.0 in high school, which also means if you find that your child is struggling in this class, they are able to drop this class in the first 2 weeks. The big difference between this class and 8th grade honors physics, as opposed to the high school credit that your child is taking, the big difference is the math. There is a lot more math to this. Now sure, the other one will have some math and some formulas in it, but this one is pretty heady stuff, and of the people who dropped this course last year, I believe the math was the problem. In fact, I'm sure the math was the concern. So please, 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 during the first few days of this class, the first week or more of this class, please pay attention to what your child is saying about this class, how they are getting things. Look online to see how well they're doing. Please monitor how your child is doing in the first 2 weeks, because some of you may have a decision to make within the first 2 weeks as to whether they should try this class in high school or whether they can go on and hopefully succeed in this class here in middle school. If you do want to discuss, well, not just this, but with anything, the school phone is 236-1856. And yes, I will be glad to give you input as to how your child is doing if you want me to at my email address here, rmitchell@floydboe.net. And hey, you can email me more than just the first 2 weeks. I'm glad to get parent correspondence with this class. So you may be wondering, what is in high school physics? Well, let me tell you. We will work with we'll calculate things like mechanical advantages with simple machines and compound machines. You can see a little bit of calculations here. We're going to study heat transfers and kind of some cool things as to how does a refrigerator put out air that's cold, because only hot air transfers. And you'll get to see how to do that, the children will. Another thing is light a particle or is it a wave? It's kind of odd that we don't know the answer to that, but you can have a good argument for both. And the decibel scale. Kids usually enjoy the decibel scale, and I don't know why I put this guy screaming next to it, but I did. And we will really study a lot the periodic table. I really like to really enjoy getting into the periodic table. We'll talk about superconductors, which is kind of fascinating in itself. Speaking of some of the math that we'll have, we'll end up having formulas and end up having calculations that look similar to this. You'll calculate, for example, meters per second and then convert it into miles per hour. That's what I think is going on here. We have meters per second up here and miles per hour here. And you can see they have conversions going through there. We'll use so many formulas in this class. One of them, for example, is F force equals mass times gravitational acceleration. Force equals m times g. And you'll use terms such as newtons like you would in this formula. There's also a term called joules, and when we get into resistance we'll have ohms, and there's several other things that we'll have formulas for. You'll also need to be able to change formulas. For example, if you have the formula force equals mass times acceleration, and acceleration equals force times mass, how did you know that acceleration does equals force? Well, I guess I should say force divided by mass. So you'll definitely have a lot of those in this class. And finally, we'll talk about splitting the atom as we get close to the spring, and that, of course, will lead into Einstein and into the atomic bomb, which is kind of interesting in itself. Now, we have something that's kind of new here at Coosa Middle School in which you can watch the videos. Those of you who have had my class before know that we have instructional videos online. Let me show you a little bit about the web pages. You need to go to floydboe.net to get to the web pages, and every teacher has a web page this year. Go look in the top left hand corner where it says select a school. I highlighted it, made it bigger here so you can see it, top left hand corner. Whenever you hit that, you will see a pull down menu like this. Of course, you would go to Coosa Middle here, and when you do, you'll come up with a page like this. Now, there's all kinds of information here, but what I'm looking for is the teacher pages. It's what I'm directing you to right here. Under the teacher pages, there I am. You can go to Honors, and when you click on Honors, you'll see the Honors teachers here. Then if you click on Me right there, then you see kind of a strange looking picture of me, but more importantly, underneath my name you will see all the classes I teach. So since your child has high school physics, then you would go to the high school physics page, which is this. And this is the page that I would bookmark. Bookmark this page right here so your child can go to it immediately. And notice what I have. I have all the standards, which there's a lot of them in this class, that happen to be on this link right here, but then I have every single video that your child will have for homework this year. So you can see every single one of them. Once this clicks on here, it goes to the YouTube link of this video. Now sure, they're still on YouTube, and if you have any problem with any of these, go to YouTube and type in the same thing up here. But this might be a quick and easy way to get there. Plus, on this particular page, it has a calendar. This is something I've never done before, but I'm going to do it this year. Is I'm going to put on the calendar important dates and times. And in fact, I need to put it down for the drop date, which will be coming up in about 2 weeks. But I'm going to put important stuff on this calendar, and that way you can, as you're looking at the videos here, just look down and see if there's any dates that are coming up that your child is not sure, and you're not sure whether the child knows it or not. Well, I tell you, I really enjoy this physics class, and I would especially try to keep up in the first couple of weeks with your child's progress in this particular class. And I certainly hope that your child has a wonderful 8th grade year, and I'm looking forward to teaching them.